Hello. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing the Hermetic Cosmic Man. As we look at the stars in the cosmos, and we start to unify with these very, very refined and potent light energies, we start to connect with these teachers, these sentinels along the wheel of time and space. Yet these sentinels, because of the vast distances involved, are, for our intents and purposes, timeless and spaceless. They are eternal and infinite. So at the core of awakening the light body and the light of the spirit attunement is a return to the realization of this individual star essence. Not the individual that we think of as us. This is something far, far more expansive. Now, the expression of this is always like a fingerprint. It is expressed individually by anyone who is reaching these higher planes of existence and these very refined energies and really doing the work to become one with these sources of light and life. So these are far from generic, right? This star essence. To merge with pure light essence, it opens doors to our own uniqueness. Very often when we engage in the spiritual path, we have all these ideas about what the spiritual path is and how we should be, how we should act, what it means to be spiritual and all this stuff. And so we just impose a whole bunch of meaning and then identify with the meaning and then fabricate a whole identity based around a whole bunch of illusions, which is not what the actual development process unfolds. Like the actual development process unfolds in a liberating way, not in an imprisoning way. So because of this aspect of the spirit and light we're working with, the deep akasha that's a part of this, we're not subject to time and space. And as such, it is impossible to pin down the identity, to pin down who you are, to pin down, for others to pin down who you are. You are incomprehensible, authentic freedom. And this is very uncomfortable for most people because we find great stability and comfort in knowing who somebody is, in knowing who we are, in being able to rest, just rest in the knowns. So to embrace this evolution requires an ability to let go of the knowns and to let go of the knowns that others are trying to impose on you and let go of the knowns that you are trying to impose on yourself. Conditioning is not only, a historic buildup, a historically built prison based off our experiences, based off our environment, based off our relation to the environment. It's also a moment by moment interplay and exchange. You have the environment in the moment offering you identities that you can take up, and you can allow these identities to lock you in, or you can sustain that freedom of spirit, that light, and those impositions dissolve into that. So this is at the core of the light body attunement, is if you are non-form, then any form that comes into that gets dispersed and alchemized into light. This includes any form of who and what you should be from yourself or from anyone else. This spans the entire alchemical process of right from initiation through high magic. So let's say you take the initiation into Hermetics, the book by Franz Bardon, or the path in general, You look at any initiation path, and this is the beginning. This is the doorway to infinity via the vehicle of the human, right? So this is where you're discovering through the physical center, the astral center, the mental center, through the body and through the mind and through this being, the light of the universe, the light of the spirit. And so in this way, you will find that there is, based off the physical center, there is a vital light that can be worked with and cultivated and explored. There is a light of the soul and an astral light, and many, many, many layers of these that can be explored, and really you can do a lot of wonderful work in. And of course, the light of the mind. This is that Shen Ming that's often talked about, where the emptiness, your Akashic development, meets the mind substance of the universe as it relates to this emanation of mind, and you get the light of the mind that is the child born of mind substance or universal mind. And, well, in this case, it would be mind substance and Akasha. So right from the initiation process, you're working on this alchemy, and it starts with, in the initiation, it's this emanation, this vehicle. Then in, high school, we might say, like middle magic, your master's degree, however you want to look at it, is where the infinity is explored via the solar system and its relation, of course, to this vehicle via the solar system. So you're fractaling out and you explore all of the planets and spheric magic. This would also be your evocation through the planetary spheres, and you really start working these high octane energies, especially as you get to the outer planets with, right from Jupiter through Saturn and Uranus and Neptune and Pluto. Just the energy starts getting absolutely phenomenally powerful. So this would be the stage of middle magic. And then we get to the stage of, so that would be like the solar system, human, right, to this star system. Then you get to the stage of high magic, which is the pathway to infinity that you are unwinding and working through and discovering and evolving with. This is via the vehicle of the cosmos, the vehicle of the constellations. And this begins, of course, with the zodiac, and then expands beyond the zodiac into the outer constellations. And this is where you start to become that cosmic human, that starman. And this is where you touch into the light of the stars, the same way you feel the sun beaming through on a nice spring day. At night, if it's a clear night, which doesn't happen often here, you see the stars and you feel the stars, you breathe the stars. The light of the stars is you, and you are the light of the stars. And this is, just gargantuan fractals out of cosmic law, of interstellar law and exploration, what it means to be at one with these cosmic energies. So this ultimate unity leads to ultimate sovereignty at each layer. You are developing a deep familiarity and relationship with this emanation in the initiation, with the solar system in that middle magic phase, with the cosmos in that high magic phase. And this allows for an equalization that helps us to become sovereign from those energies, in the sense that we can acknowledge them and use the energies that are present rather than be in contrast to them and in a negative coherence where the energy just gets sapped because we're always fighting against a wave at each fractal that we're working with, right? So this leads, this ultimate unity with each fractal of development leads to ultimate sovereignty. Now this is interesting because with that sovereignty is a greater unity. And this is that paradox that I'm often describing. The paradox of evolution is the sovereignty unity conundrum, right? So you aren't the you that you think you are, and you have to be free from any lower encapsulating conditioning of you, an identity of you, to be free enough that you can be a conduit for that starlight, for that light and energy and information, lessons of the solar system, and of course the spiritual human as well. You have to be free enough to be a conduit where your mental, astral, and vital bodies and fields are, and the matrices that bind those are flexible enough that these energies can pass through. And there's a constant adaptation that's occurring with this flow. It's perpetual. Now, in the beginning, you reorient, and then you consolidate that new reorientation, or that new orientation at that point. And then you metabolize that, you get to know it, and when you're ready, then you open up and you receive new instruction and orientation via whatever fractal of identity you're working with. So this paradox is always you find sovereignty from whatever layer of conditioning you've realized still exists, which allows you to find unity with a greater fractal of consciousness. You realize that there is imprisonment in that new layer. As time goes on, you find sovereignty from that, which allows you the freedom to unify with higher orientation of instruction. So as we're going through this, we're evolving. And this is really the key here. The trick is that as you walk the path of light through initiation, through middle magic, through high magic, the path of light walks through you. You are giving up, and because this is the conundrum, you're giving up, in a sense, your lower human sovereignty to the unity of a higher consciousness again and again and again. So we need to make sure we have good discernment as we go through this. And we have to be free enough that we can allow this process to unfold again and again and again. If you are interested in training, please check out the website. There are courses in Hermetic Qigong and Alchemy. There is the Zenden, which is a Q&A reference library. So I get back to all your questions via video, and that way I can help you with your learning as you're progressing through the practices. And of course, you can find retreat information available there as well. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for your time. Have fun. Practice. Bye.